Hello, hey guys. Episode 33, here we are. After quite a harrowing battle. As always, one quick announcement. All the maps you see, including this beautiful kingdom sort of town hall map or such here, are made by me. Exclusively, essentially, at this point. But a lot of them are now out because of Paizo's release on the official sort of module for this. They do a lot of remakes, but they don't do any supplemental stuff, so my Patreon provides. Without further ado, though, who wants to do the recap for Yakshir Point?
As usual, I'm prepped. Does anybody want to take over, though? All right, it's me.
Okay.
Yeah.
I figure I might as well ask every time, just in case, you know? All right. So last time, we'd finished up a short rest in the lair of the evil necromancer Vordakai, where we had just fought a battle against some Cyclops minions he sent at us to either to test them or to test us, or maybe both. We ascended some stairs from that dining hall. We found a fountain that smelled of sulfur, noticed its ooze-like viscosity, and we were quickly attacked by some really dangerous sort of ooze creature. That was a little scary. We advanced further up some stairs toward a ritual circle, where we assumed that may have been where Vordakai was summoning the soul eaters that had been plaguing us for a while. It wasn't really much for us to work with, however, but we took note of it. And beyond the ooze was a grisly scene, a workshop with severed heads, a pool of blood of some sort swirling with the energies of Abaddon itself, a skeletal throne, and a smaller ritual circle, which we determined was Vordakai's, which we very quickly confirmed as he approached us and fought us. It was a very terrible battle, with a single spell casting on each. Vordakai managed to instantly slay both Yarmos and Giraffe. And when Vordakai was near death, he made a last-ditch effort to take Kiba down as well. But luck was on our side, or perhaps the will of the gods. Vordakai crumbled into dust, and there were no further casualties. Parenth was able to use a scroll to bring back Yarmos, and then we destroyed the evil artifact that Vordakai was using as an eye. We gathered some treasure, including a spellbook that contained, thankfully, a ritual of resurrection, and we found soul jars that contained a few of the remaining survivors of the Varnhold citizens, including Mager Varn himself. We encouraged them to come back with us to our lands, or they can feel free to return to their own. Either way, we visited the Nomen Centaurs first. Akora, the war priestess of Desna, was really grateful for everything we did, and she assisted us with the resurrection ritual, which worked. Giraffe returned to us. All 5 of us were now alive. Mager Varn swore fealty to us. Since he would no longer be ruling Varnhold, he would work with us instead, perhaps as an advisor of some sort. And we returned back home, ready to share the news of our adventures with our people.
And that you have. As you all made the long journey back home, it took a couple of rests, of course, over that journey, and thus the resurrection sicknesses that both Yarmos and Giraffe were suffering from eventually waned, and each of you found, while there were slight changes to your aesthetics, you are otherwise fit and able to fight for the defense of this kingdom once more. But maybe not so immediately after a potentially world-ending threat could have, not been stopped by you. But that being said, I believe everyone has already leveled up, right?
I've done mine.
Yes. Indeed, we have.
Alright. But I do believe there is a bit of shopping to do. A bit of inventory management, as you guys have carried back with you the assorted treasures that were accumulated in that forgotten tomb there for many millennia. So go ahead and throw whatever you think you would like to do, or what would like to throw into the sale box. Just throw it in before asking, and if anybody wants something, they'll pull it back out. You don't need to ask everyone each time.
The extending rune is hilarious. 60-foot reach for a strike.
It is really powerful. I've seen somebody use that before.
It doesn't have a limited use, just 2 actions.
Wow.
The audio is a little low. There we go. And of course, if you guys are wondering what you might want to get, common sort of things, especially runes at this level, would be very good if you don't have like a resilient rune for your armor or something like that.
Did all the treasure already get taken?
So the treasure I just, sold. Press the button
All right,
to sell.
so I had some concerns about one of the pieces of treasure.
Ah, which one was it?
It was Pendred's books that were from the Kithrodian Academy in Restov.
Yeah. If you were to make correspondence with them, they would have returned and said like, "Hey, we'll pay you to get those back pretty quickly."
Okay, so we can consider that the treasure then,
Yes.
because Kiba would insist on absolutely returning them. So yeah, good for relations.
Mm-hmm.
Kiba, you wanted the +2 striking rune, right?
There's a +2 rune on this mall here. I'm going to have them move the one from this mall over onto my glaive.
Wait, so you found a maul with a +2 rune.
That's right. So we
and
have
the
two of
longsword
them.
is separate.
That's
Mhm.
correct.
Cool. Then I'm going to take the one on the striking longsword and move that onto the bloodthirst if nobody else wants it.
Can't remember if inventions need like runes or not. Gaz?
Come in.
I can't remember if inventions need runes or not, Gaz.
They can use
Uh,
invention. They can use runes, and I have actually a rune on mine.
A +2?
Just a +1, but at the moment.
Okay. I mean, it's between Giraffes getting one of his 2 weapons or Gaz getting his 1 weapon.
I have rings of doubling, so it would affect both of my weapons.
Ah, gotcha. Okay. So it's the same either way.
Not exactly a priority in terms of getting upgrades for my melee weapon, so by all means, Giraffe can take it.
Alrighty. What's the cost for transferring it over? Or is it just like a...
10% of the rune's cost. And it is 1000 GP for the +2, so 100 gold.
Okay. Do you want me to subtract that from...
Yeah, you subtract that yourself, yeah.
Well, maybe we should split the gold we have before you start taking
Yeah.
gold from the stash. So everybody gets their fair cut.
Not a bad plan.
Just gotta have you guys throw everything into the sale box then. So that I don't have to distribute twice, right?
Yeah. You get rid of the Oculus of a patent from the party inventory.
Alright, that was destroyed.
Is anybody gonna use that sturdy shield?
Gaz is the shield bearer, I think.
Yeah, let's guess.
Sometimes.
Problem is, I kind of need a buckler to have a hand free and do my shenanigans.
More money for us.
Yeah, okay.
Over to the sale box.
Did anybody want that shifting iron spear?
No.
Couple steel shields.
It's gonna be very easily sold. Somebody, whoever's doing our primary perception stuff, should take the Eyes of the Eagle.
Gonna correct you. Eyes of the Cat.
Oh,
Because of the
Okay.
remaster.
Yeah, I'll take those.
Some things from my loots still haven't been refreshed. And it would be a pain, so I'm not really gonna do it. So yeah, How to Disguise is now the Masquerade Scarf as well.
Oh, that's a completely different aesthetic.
it's
Mhm.
neat though. I like it.
Scarf.
Well, it's actually good
Interesting.
because How to Disguise used to take up your hat slot. You had to like take off my helmet or whatever other hat item was providing you bonuses, but now you don't have to. You could just use the scarf.
That's cool.
So these panaceas are really cool, but they're also worth a lot. We should keep those. Counteracts all curses. Okay, yeah, no, we're keeping that. I think I want to keep everything else. Like, there's nothing else I would want to sell at this point. For me, anyways.
Okay. And those panaceas, they are going to be useful for a long time. They're level 13 items by themselves right now, so yeah, they'll
grief.
counteract.
Yeah, the curse removal is wonderful, and diseases too, because some of those can be super nasty.
Oh, cool. They can remove curses. I didn't know that.
So you guys good with the sandbox? Everyone make sure to check it. Take in anything else you want to keep yourself. And of course, don't forget to look in your own inventories rather than just the stash.
Right. I like that scarf.
Okay, I didn't use this at all since we got it. So, the Grim Trophy, worth 55 gold points.
Hmm.
Nobody's really intimidating.
Our only charisma person is Diva, and he doesn't tend to do being scary.
I have a little bit of charisma investment. Actually, I'm trained in intimidation, but I don't really get to do much intimidation either.
I'm not even trained in intimidation.
Alright, I'm gonna sell off the sale box here. Calculator. Reason I have everyone just throw this into the sale box is because it tells you the total wealth of the items inside. It's just like a loot box, but that allows me to just divide that by 2 and give you guys the correct gold instead of having to sell every single item, and yeah, so much quicker.
There's no option for selling everything inside a loot box.
There is not, no. There is for treasures. They get sold like if you click a button next to them, but these you have to just delete and calculate the gold. 847. Grand total of 2,700 gold pieces in the party inventory, which I will distribute. Alright, there you go. Have fun.
Is 1 platinum
Wow.
equal to 10 gold?
Yes,
Got-
yeah.
Okay.
Should look into what I can craft.
You will have certainly a good amount of downtime here. Not years, but a couple of months. Couple as in 2. The proper usage of the word couple.
Are we able to do earn income at all for this time period?
Absolutely, yeah. Your earning incomes, of course, are a little bit different, but since the kingdom or the town's level is your character level, you can do up to a DC 10, well, a level 10 DC for earn income. And it's more like you are using your skills for the betterment of the kingdom, and thus are able to justly sort of take a little bit more of the treasure at the end of the months or so.
Yeah. Exactly 60 days, right?
Yeah, we'll say 60 days, yeah. In that time as well, you guys can look into retraining. So it's 7 days to retrain anything, essentially. So any feat, any skill training that you want to just exchange for some other skill training, 7 days.
So it's the same way for feats and stuff, I assume.
Yeah.
I'll need to get a lot of money in preparation for level 11. That's when a lot of formulae come onto my doorstep.
What did I use for earn income last time? Did I use athletics? There's an earn income thing.
Yeah, it's a macro you'll find in the Compendium tab, top right there. Some beginning successes from parents, sort of handling the arcane matters of the kingdom, creating a more sort of like open place for magical usage, but also making sure magic is not being, well, used for some not so nice purposes.
60 days at level 10, right?
Yes.
Cool.
Your most manages shaman work of the suit skill territories
Yeah.
and extends the same courtesy to as many provinces of Skillport as possible.
Well, now that there's been peace and safety in the Greenbelt, the soot scales have grown into a couple of warrens, sort of pockmarking the hills here and there. And your support is definitely appreciated to that as well. Giraffe going around and doing any heavy lifting or training of the guards or anything like that, and Kiba performing, spreading the good word of the kingdom, and the arts of it as well.
It's excellent for morale. If you do well, you try to encourage others.
And after gaining a good amount of time to finally rest and recuperate from those long trials in Dunsword and trying to, or, well, succeeding in saving many of those of Varnhold, you got your rest, you got your recuperation, but now, well, rushing around a corner one day, Jubilost rushes into the room, sort of waving a piece of paper. Sorry, this is not a request for signature this time. This is actually something far more important. This here is an invitation to the Inconsequent debates. Have I told you about them before?
Not yet. Please tell us everything you can.
Of course. These are a pivotal event in Galarian. Every so often, every few years, these Inconsequent debates just pop up out of nowhere in regions all over the world. But it seems as though they are appearing in the Stonelands this year, and we are cordially invited to them. They're purportedly...
Bit of a misnomer? Is it vital or is it inconsequent?
Oh, well, they are inconsequent to the host of them, whom, rumor has it, is a very powerful fey creature.
Oh, you have my attention.
But yes, this is actually important for me, as I need an answer to a question that has nagged me and my entire ancestry for, well, ever since the gnomes have been on the face of Galarian. I wish to know the answer as to why we ever left the First World. and came here into this world where we will bleach if we don't even have enough excitement. There's plenty of excitement in the first world. Oh, and I skipped over the part that the host answers any question truthfully. No tricks involved. If we win, of course.
I would say that's a first for a Fae.
Yeah, things have been getting chummy around here. You think it's worth looking into?
I'm absolutely fascinated.
I don't really see you as the debating type, Giraffe.
Ah, but it's fun to watch.
Kind of don't like this. The Fae and us, we don't really get along. Speaking from past experiences here.
Precisely why we need to do this. Not because it's any kind of an opportunity to get back at any of those who have wronged us, but maybe get some insight onto what makes some of them tick.
Well, I doubt there would be a midflit at the debates.
And, well, luckily for us, it is not the local Fae that are throwing this. It's actually just a singular Fae, inviting a few groups and... well, nobody knows exactly who or how they decide who they invite, but I will take it as a sign of their good graces that we are invited. Of course, we are dealing with a Fae, so keep an eye out for any tricks or anything like that, but otherwise, it is a well-renowned and well-trusted event. Many scholars over the years have gone to them, only a few have gained their answers, and fewer yet have actually written their answers into the anthologies. Let's go see if we can make history here. And without even asking, he starts packing his bags and rushing out the door.
Well, I suppose it will be entertaining at least to do something different for a little bit.
Indeed, we are doing this.
And before we arrive at such an official event, we've been through a lot. I think it's nigh time for another syllable. From now on, call me Yarmos here. Sound good?
Say that again, please.
Yamos here. Alright.
Yarmos here.
Yarmos here.
Just keeps getting longer and longer.
That's because I'm becoming more and more exalted. It's only,
Interesting.
right.
Is this a suit scale tradition in particular?
No, there's many warrens that partake in it. Many tribes.
I wonder what my name would look like if I added an extra syllable.
Kibaba.
On second thought, I suppose Kiba works just fine.
And as you guys get your things ready, Jubilas calls back. Oh, and it's not too far of a trip. It's being held at the Forgotten Keep. You remember where that is?
Yeah, it's in the woods to the west, I think.
Yes, you had reportedly dealt with some nasty phase out there, right?
Is that the one with the 4 towers?
Yes, that I believe it's that one. That quickling and all those other horrible things in there.
Mm-hmm.
The little speedy fae.
At the end of the river that sort of heads in the Gnarl River, in fact, that heads through the depths of the Gnarl Marshes. Well, due to it being up the river, it's quite an easy riverboat ride through Tuskwater, past all of your kingdom's fishermen that are reeling in massive catches from the quite good catch of Tuskwater. The density of fish is quite high. But you get past that, and past that ever-looming Candlemere Island that still has that sort of strange aura about it, and never having figured out exactly what truths lie beneath that seal underneath. Otherwise, though, you guys make your way over the course of one day or so, sort of sleeping before you arrive at the Forgotten Keep And I'll put your tokens down.
Do we have a topic of debate? Is there any preparations we need?
Well, it didn't exactly say, and I don't think they are said. I think we are supposed to, well, just have our wits about us and have a strong mind. Some of you do have one. In my own intellect, we should do just fine.
I should hope that we each have a mind.
To varying degrees, but yes. Now, here we are. And as he looks out ahead of you guys, sort of stops, allowing you guys to sort of follow up. And you see, again, the Forgotten Keep sort of stretching out of the woods here. It's sort of, plant-encrusted towers rising up like trees of their own in the surrounds here. It doesn't look much different than you previously, or than that of when you were here before. But there are actually a few other people about, with tents and other things, sort of either inside or outside of its grandiose walls here. The only other thing is a little bit of a platform, a stage, a small one, at the center here. No sign of any host, though.
Might as well take a look around and see who the competition might be, eh?
Absolutely. I don't know if any of you are excited about this as I am.
And as you guys are heading up the road here and approaching, most notable first is a kobold to the south with two animals at their side. Sort of seems to be speaking in Draconic to each of them. Something you can't hear at this distance, but what do you guys do?
Well, Kiba, are you going to introduce us?
Oh, I suppose I shall. Ah,
We have brought
greetings.
Northern.
I see you were alone, just with a couple of pets.
Just stop. I know I just met you, but you need to stop bristling. Hello, tall ones. I am not foe. I'm friend. Friend, yes.
Don't worry, so are we. My name is Kiba. What brings you here today?
Well, I'm here for debates. Debates so that Coquette can figure out answer to important question.
And he, as you're looking at him, every time he finishes a sentence, he has this, like, little, like, verbal tick, but also a deadpan look on his face, as if he doesn't even realize he's doing it.
This is with every sentence?
Everyone.
What sort of question did you want to ask?
Well, hopefully you won't steal answer when Coquette wins, but Coquette is searching for how to become dragon.
Prince just kind of stares at the guy from the rear.
Oh, wait. What is that? Get out of the way. Move. Dragon. Oh.
This is Parinth. He's one of us.
Begins sort of like groveling, bowing.
Oh, I didn't think I'd get an answer so quickly. What are you doing here, most esteemed dragon?
Is this any way for somebody who wants to become a dragon to act?
Wait. You're right. Yes, I'm supposed to be a dragon, not you.
So he gets up.
Wow.
Stand up straight. Nice and proud. Address him as an equal.
Right. You Oh, but I have so many questions too. Mr. Dragon, why are you so small? Hmm.
You can't just.
Brandon just kind of makes a face at it. I was being nice with my last statement.
Oh, no, don't breathe fire on me, please. Or, no, you're blue, so it'd be electricity, yes. Mhm.
No, I breathe water.
Water? Cricket never heard of water dragon. Hmm.
Well, I'm a little peculiar for a dragon, aren't I? And maybe I'm just small by default. Not all dragons are big, okay?
All dragons start small, don't they?
Yes.
I have so many questions for my equal. But don't worry about me. I need to prepare for the debate too.
If you win this debate, well, of course nobody's going to steal the answer. You will have earned it.
Earned, right? Yes. Why
But you
are
must
you
win
here?
the debate.
What are you asking?
We are helping our friend here.
Oh yes, this is Jubilust. One of us as well.
Yes. Hello, there. You're not going to, attack, are you? You all do remember what happened with my card, right? When you first met me?
I may need a refresher.
I was attacked by kobolds. They just
It wasn't
sent
this
my
kobold, though, was it?
cart into a
Why,
river,
what's
and well, this one seems nice too.
So did the other two that are with us.
Well, yes, but I am still wary. It's not the only time in my life that I have dealt with this sort of thing, but forget me.
Small steps, apologies. These things will bring us all closer together. I'm sure it's fine.
That was nearly 2 years ago. Let bygones be bygones. Shall we?
And yes, of course, I know. I'm just reminiscing on the past. Yes, of course.
How many times have you been attacked by kobolds, out of curiosity?
It's going on about a dozen over my travels. Probably more than that.
Wow. I don't know what to say about that.
That's kind of a high amount.
It is quite high. That's why I have to consider that me and my entourage's statures, us all being gnomes when I usually travel, probably has something to do with it and how they select their targets. Maybe I'll have to write that in my almanac next year. But anyway, I do see some other attendants here. Perhaps we should speak to them before this vaunted host arrives.
Yes, that sounds like a wonderful idea. And what was your name, by the way? Parenthesis of the gold.
Cricket.
Well, good luck, Kirkhead.
Honestly, if we lose, I hope Cricket wins. That'll be entertaining.
And it's a
I'll also
question that
go
like
ahead and introduce everybody else to Kirkhead, just so he knows.
See, I step into the Forgotten Keep. The atmosphere is a bit jovial. As you see to your north immediately, another gnome, in fact, though one that quite easily you guys can tell is in the advanced stages of the bleaching. Her hair is nearly just stark white at this point. But she seems to still sort of be, having her faculties about her, sort of looking to these two giant frogs next to her with a book open.
All right now, brother, what is the... Stop rolling your eyes like that. I know it's funny, but we're here for the debate, not for you to...
As the frogs are sort of sitting there, both of them seem to be, funnily rolling their eyes, in their sockets, around and around, and then sticking their tongues out at each other. They don't seem like the usual frogs you guys have seen before.
should we have brought Norbert? It seems everyone's brought an animal companion for the debates.
There's plenty enough of rowdiness in our group to.
I mean,
We
did
don't need to
bring
add
Baron
on
as
any
well.
extra chaos.
I do agree with Kiba here.
Oh, hello. You must be the last to arrive. She sort of turns over to you. Pleasure to make your acquaintance. Sorry about my brothers. They are dolts as usual.
Your brothers?
Oh, yes, they are my brothers. Yes.
Can't say I quite see the resemblance.
Of course. That is because they are taken by this curse that has been laid upon them. Ever since we arrived, they've, well, turned into frogs.
Arrived? From where?
To the keep here. They seem to have their senses about them, their own minds. They recognize me, but they can't exactly speak. They can scribble in the dirt, but that doesn't make them very useful to me.
Wait, so before you came here, they were not frogs, but now they are frogs ever since you entered the keep.
Yes, they turned into frogs when we arrived.
That's very strange.
I have to assume it has something to do with the host of these events here, playing tricks on all of us. I keep hearing that kobold outside groaning, or muttering, or whatever he's doing.
Interesting. Perhaps that strange verbal tick he was doing is not natural for him.
That's very strange.
And why might you be here for these debates? Jubilos sort of steps forward. Well met. I'm Jubilos Northruple, and we are here to answer one simple, very important question, and I hope you're here to answer the same thing. We are here to answer why the gnomes exited the first world in the first place. Sort of, at the drop of his name, sort of near, sort of, eyes widen a little bit on her. Near Zottenrappel. Pleasure to make your acquaintance, Jubilos. I've read some of your books. And as they're getting to know each other, sort of exchanging books and other things back and forth, it gives you guys time, perhaps, to explore a little bit further.
Sure. Fine. That sounds good to me. I don't want to interrupt them if they're into this.
Francis wants to kind of take a look over these frogs. Are they actually magic?
Just look over at them. They're sort of like dancing on two legs to one another. They're sort of playing around in this form they've found themselves in. And yeah, roll me a Arcana check. There we go. As you're looking at them, well, it is strange that they seem to have complete mental faculties, because sort of a baleful polymorph could just reduce them to the mind of a frog too. So this isn't seemingly a forceful effect that you're aware of. It's actually no effect that you're aware of. It's not a wild shape, nothing like that. It's very strange.
That's definitely not normal magic here. I don't know exactly what this is, but seem normal.
Oh, it's fey magic.
Very strange. I'm surprised nothing's happened to us at this point.
Don't say that, Kiba.
Let's hope it's not permanent for anybody.
I don't really want to be a frog.
I could think of worse things.
Looking around the north side, everything
Think
seems
of
to
better
be
bits too.
as it was when you guys were last here. There's the gnomes camp, it seems, in the north here. The only other actual change you guys notice is that there's another camp, a third group in the south, of armor-clad individuals. They seem to be sort of maintaining their gear, sort of doing all of that sort of maintenance stuff. But as you guys arrive, you see one of them without their helmet on sort of step up, seemingly their leader. Ah, hello there, kind tentacles.
Hello, it's a pleasure. Sorry, what?
I said hello there, tentacles.
Yes. Hello to you as well. I must admit, I'm slightly taken aback by that, but that's quite all right. I am Kiba. These are my companions: Giraffe, Yarmostir, Parent, Gaz, Jubilost is over there somewhere else.
Yes. Well, tentacles to you as well. I am Sir Alfrey, and these are my fellow Mendevian Crusaders.
Should we take
Vivian.
tentacles as a term of endearment?
What tentacles do you speak of?
Don't worry about it. It was merely a joke. Mendev, you say?
Yes, under her divine radiance, we don't really call her that, Queen Galfrey. She is the, well, essentially, Crusader tentacles of our nation. From
I see.
what tentacles do you hail?
From the lands just to the east. Quite honestly, we are the ruling council of Skillport.
Ah, that
And
tentacles.
before that, we came from all over.
All of us are originally from tentacles, but well met to see people of other nations in the tentacles.
Indeed.
For what tentacles have you come here?
Oh, mostly to answer a question of why the gnomes came here from the first world. And what about you?
Ah, yes, we are here to answer one simple tentacles. How to tentacles the world wound.
So,
The world wound. Oh my.
You know of the tentacles?
I have
Well,
no idea how prominent this is in Galarian lore.
Not firsthand, but
The tentacles by which demons of the abyss have spread their curse upon these lands. It is a massive tentacles. A dangerous tentacles as well. We just simply seek to destroy that tentacles and rid it from the face of tentacles.
an extremely noble cause. I wish for the utmost of success for you all. It's terrible business up there.
Of course. I do believe the tentacles will be starting soon. Have you read the rules?
No, not yet. Where can we find them?
Those tentacles are right over there. From what I could see, you have to tentacles them out loud.
I see. We shall be sure to do that. Could I get your name once more, just to remember?
Tentacles. Sir Alfrey.
is there any magic around this guy?
You don't detect any magic.
Hey, quick question. You haven't noticed anything weird about the way we speak, have you?
The way you tentacles? No, I can't say I have.
I see. Well, thank you for your point of view.
Well, you are tentacles.
This is creeping me out.
Gaz just
I've been through a lot. I just not even phased.
Giraffe, roll me a perception check for me.
Oh boy. Would Eyes of the Cat apply?
Yeah. You notice that his two Crusader subordinates are having a very tough time holding it in. And they're sort of like wheezing under their masks and like sort of gripping onto their sort of shoulders, and they notice it too, but they haven't said
Understandable.
anything.
He was doing
Yeah.
his absolute best to just stay very polite.
Eva, would you like to be the one to read out the rules? You don't mind, do you?
Very well, sure. I'm quite good at speaking.
Alright. He did point over towards the stage.
Nyom.
Oh, that's a stage. I thought that was a nice rug.
As you guys get back over here, Jubilost is in sort of a almost heated conversation with Nir. Now, you should actually ask my question. Even if we lose, you could gain this answer as well. Not a useless answer like how to stop the bleaching. We both know it's not able to be stopped ever. There's no cure. There won't be a way. Nir sort of like dejectedly sort of shakes her head. I have to know. You look at my hair. What do you see? A few years to live anymore? Nothing's working. Nothing else is. They're your friends.
Seems like you two are having a nice conversation.
We are, yes. But may the best win, of course. Are we ready? What else do you need to do?
I believe I need to read these rules out loud.
Of course, yes. I noticed something peculiar about them when I was looking at them. They seem to blur, only except for the single first word. Maybe you have to read them out loud to make them actually work. And Kiba, as you're looking at that sign, it does have that blur as you're just looking at it. You can't focus on the words except for the first one.
That must be why we need to read them out loud. I imagine once each word is spoken, the next one becomes available.
That it does. And you read Rule 2. Each party must consist of a group of no less than 3 and no more than 6. And as you read this out loud, all of a sudden, you feel your shape sort of shift, and all the rest of you see his feathers turning green, his body sort of morphing downwards and sort of bloating out. Kiba, you find yourself transformed into a frog. And the frustrating thing is, Kiba, you're sort of like sudden sort of verbalization was actually coming out as a ribbit to everybody else and to yourself as well. But you have your own mind. Nothing in your mind has changed at all, except your physical form.
Our keeper's looking a bit green around the gills now.
I thought so.
I look over
I
at the
guess-
brothers and give my best impression of a shrug.
They sort of croak at you and roll their eyes around. As
Did
if
you read these rules? He's gonna ask the other gnome.
I did, yes, but I had my brothers read them.
At the same time,
That seems to be how the curse affected them. But it's looking like it's affecting everyone differently as well.
well, it seems that our host was less creative with our friend here.
I saw more,
Using tricks.
perhaps. There are 2 other rule signs, north and south.
Oh
We'll,
God.
we'll figure a way to get you back to normal, Kiva.
Kiva just kind of spends a bit of time practicing some hopping.
So we have the awakened animal ritual. Maybe that will help keep us in the running with our best speaker incapacitated.
So,
So basically, when you go to read a sign, you're committing to basically speaking it out, correct?
essentially, yes. It seems like the events won't start unless they are read. And understood.
I'm with you. I do pay you some money. How about I pay you for a little job of reading a sign?
How much are we talking here?
Blank check.
I see. Mm. Fine, I'll take the first sign. Seems we've gotten our rules out of order. So we'll get ourselves back on track.
Ebud croaks at you and raises a hand, and then just kind of looks like he's laughing.
Alright.
Yarmus here goes to the first sign. Well, whichever says number 1.
Can't really tell, but you still go up to the sign, and as you read it off, it does seem to be Rule 1. Obey the host in all things. And as this occurs to you, well, nothing seems to change.
Testing. Hello, everybody. Can you hear me?
You have
Do I still sound the same?
the distinct urge to sort of dryly laugh at the end of your sentences.
In other words, we don't notice anything strange.
Okay, well, this is one of the least destructive ones.
Maybe you have to read the other one in order to.
I wonder if one person can take multiple of these curses. I suppose I can set myself out of the running of the debate entirely if you all can handle it on yourselves.
Heba pretends to read the rule sign 3 out loud. Ribbit, ribbit, ribbit.
Doesn't work for Kiba, as Kiba actually going up to it, not even the first word is first word is seen to you. And neither is it to you, Yarmasir. The first
But I can
word
at least
is
have fun
word.
with it.
Our host thought of that. Seems like someone else would have to take the tentacles first.
Do I risk reading one of these signs?
There seems to be a pattern to it. Chances are it's the same as good Sir Alfred over there.
What, do you want to flip a coin for it, Giraffe?
No, you can go.
No, that's not. No.
You seem so eager.
Giraffe, I'm sure you would rather participate in a debate. A debate with words, not with weapons in this case.
Up to you
Are
guys.
the other contestants unaware of the other rules? It seems like each only read one of them.
You step forward, Parenth.
I'm gonna read it because Giraffe is afraid.
Parenth, Rule 3 reads, no fighting amongst or between teams. And as you read that off, you have the distinct urge, the feeling, that you must replace every word in a sentence, or one word in each sentence, with tentacles.
Tentacles, I hate you.
What you got about against tentacles, Parent?
That wasn't a replacement.
Why do you hate tentacles?
This is all your fault, Tentacles.
Who?
He points at you, Giraffe.
Giraffe looks behind him. Are you pointing at someone else?
Brilliant.
If we don't stop tentacles, we'll break the rules.
Well, this is going to be quite interesting. Oh, do you see that up there? As Jubila sort of turns your attention towards the stage there, it seems like there is this sort of lattice structure of many mirrors or sort of gem faces sort of apparating there, sort of all together into one geode of some sort. But you see all sorts of different sort of places and other things within the reflections of each of those faces of a sort of many-sided cut gem of a sort. Before they all seem to be converging to a similar look of the space around you, and one singular figure, or rather many figures, all of them sort of in those each sort of images of this converging. You guys have been in a sort of a carnival fun house with mirrors, and sort of the mirrors adding to each other. It's sort of what you're seeing as this figure steps through it as if it were a portal. And you see a imposing figure before you. A simple robe belies a sort of ashen skin. You see sort of sharp nails and a slight smirk on this strangely blurry face. A face that which, when you look away and look back, it also has different features as well. Every time you look away and look back, it seems to shift. They sort of wield this small scepter of an hourglass at their side. Welcome. Welcome all. Join us, for we are about to begin with the Inconsequent debates. I trust that you do not have any questions.
We all came here with a question. That's sort of the point for most of us.
Very good.
The giant frog croaks.
You are on the right track. You are paying attention. I am sure that you will not be a disappointment. As everyone sort of gathers around, Kirket sort of rushes in with his little animal companions at his sides. Sir Alfie rushes up. Ah, the tentacles is beginning. Let us play a fair game, my fellow tentacles. Let's get on with it already. Kirket sort of shouts from the back. There's answers. Your answers will have to wait. Now, let me begin by telling you all how this will work. As the grand prize is an answer from us to any one question posed by your team, we shall prepare you by asking questions that may allow you to better give a good question yourself. These questions that I will be asking of you should be answered by what your team feels best fits. More than one answer may serve. It is an open-ended question each, but some answers hold more weight than others. We shall weigh your answers, awarding more to the weighty ones and less to the light ones. While your team may work together to provide an answer, only one member of each team may speak the final answer. Is that all clear?
Yeah.
Yes.
The frog bows his head and nods.
Tentacles.
Very
As
well.
clear as can be expected.
Then, if all is clear, let us begin with the first question we have for you. What can move a mountain? Take all the time you wish, for I have all the time I could ask for, and more.
Well, Pickles, what do you think? I'm sure Pickles could move a mountain.
Yuba turns to all of you and starts explaining his opinion.
Okay, then.
I mean, my first thought is water. Doesn't like mountains break down every time it rains?
We're
Literally, I
giving it
had.
a fake here. An answer that's just on the literal side might not get as many points.
You hear a shout from the back from Sir Alfred. A knight's, faith. Through faith, the most devout tentacles can accomplish anything.
I mean, obviously, we could use Pickles to move a mountain.
Tentacles.
Or tentacles.
Not pickles.
I don't know why I'm suddenly saying Pickles. I'm sorry.
It's good.
Yeah, I was
Say,
trying to
he's
figure-
trying to say pickles, but it comes out as tentacles instead for some reason. Yuba sighs at all of you and insists on what the answer is. Of course, it's croaking.
There may
Call
be
back
ways
even
that you
if we
can
get
communicate.
free.
Remember,
What's that?
you do have like your complete mental faculties, so any sort of other way you can think about to creatively communicate, it's up to you.
Yeah, I gotta think about this one.
Oh, this is not my specialty.
And give him
Yarmo
like
scans a page of his empty formula book and an ink quill to Kiba.
I'm Kiva is an artist, so this is totally a thing he can do. Although I got these funny little frog hands.
You can roll me a performance check for each thing you're like trying to write down.
Awesome.
You,
given my craft, I'm inclined to say that what can move a mountain would be a miner. He always digs out and drops it outside.
Not singing, uncheck that. Holy smokes.
I will give you all a hint. These questions should be surmised as what can always move a mountain? What always does it? What always works? And what is always occurring?
Tentacles, that's easy. It's Tentacles time.
You gonna cover up a swear word with tentacles? Like
That's clever. Parents, just put swear words in your sentences and let tentacles cover them up.
the SpongeBob episode, yeah.
Oh, with that 39.
Oh yes.
Kiva basically attempts to do the best he can to draw a heart for Yarmosir.
You shouldn't have.
Love? Love moves them out? Is that what you're trying to say?
Ribbit nods his head.
You hear
I-
from the back, Kirkette sort of shouting,
Is it a dragon?
two of the teams have answered.
Are we sure he's not one of our group?
Well, it seems we're out of tentacles.
Neard Zottenruppel sort of speaks up. Well, a very powerful teleportation spell would certainly do it.
I think tentacles is the right answer.
Uh, so what? Time? Time moves a mountain. Yarmos, what do you think? Time moves a mountain or love moves a mountain?
Love can sometimes move a mountain, but time is always moving mountains.
Pants
I
just kind of points at the mall she has.
Yeah,
Or
okay.
they have.
Mhm.
If no one's gonna stop me, I think that should be our answer. Time moves a mountain.
Yeah,
I couldn't stop you if I tried.
I've been trying
You
to.
could. I'm
I-
sure.
I could tackle you, I
Can someone
suppose.
else be the announcer?
We have our answer. Time. Time moves a mountain.
Very well. All of the answers are in. After each, we will be going around and judging your answers. To begin with, Neard Zottenruppel. While yes, a powerful teleportation spell could certainly move a mountain, is it always acting upon a mountain? Are mountains everywhere being affected by a teleportation ritual all at the same time? In every time? At all times? No, they are not. Coquette, well, a dragon could move a mountain, and I have seen some move them in the first world. They do not always move mountains. It is not always a true answer. And so, Alfred, faith, well, that is a more weighty answer, and we will give you points for it. It is not always true that faith is being pushed upon a mountain. Now, what is always true is that time moves mountains, whether the mountain is anywhere or nowhere. It is always moving the mountain, always eroding it, always acting upon it. Bonus points to your team for getting it exactly right. Keep thinking like that for the next answer, or question, I should say, or we should say.
He looks back at all of you and just kind of nods, like really impressed.
See, I told you it was tentacles.
The second question of these inconsequent debates. Oh, what happened to my chat? There it is. Okay. What weakens when owned by many, but then dies if owned by none?
A name? That's not our answer, by the way.
You hear a shout from the back.
Well, it could be a dragon, yes?
Well, at the very least, our
Aaron?
competition isn't too
I love him.
too difficult. Jubas notes.
We need to recruit him.
Parents, are you owned by anybody?
Pickle or tentacles. Why am I going to pickles? I'm sorry.
Someone's injecting your mind with the thought of pickles.
Well, it's official then. Parents is dead.
Debo once again puts his hand on the little picture he drew and looks at you all.
Yeah, love isn't really known for dying. It's always like a constant.
Well, I think means that if no one loves you, then it's gone.
I feel like the pickles thing is coming from the goblins.
Yes,
Oh my
it is.
God.
I don't know why.
Okay, so what was the question again?
What weakens if owned by many, but dies if owned by none?
A name?
I'm feeling confident on a name, but we should keep on pondering our options.
You hear,
Kiba's eyes go wide, and he again looks impressed. He's thinking about this.
you hear from the back, actually see sort of near, sort of turning to her brothers.
Fools, stop playing around and
You see the frogs sort of like rolling their eyeballs around.
focus on the debate. The debate.
We will take that as your answer.
Damn it, you idiots.
You also hear Sir Alfrey. A knight's heart, by my tentacles, it belongs to the self, or righteous cause, or tentacles. Its tentacles cannot be divided.
I think tentacles might be onto something.
Why did he also include a rationale on why it's the wrong answer?
No, not him. Tentacles. And he points at Yarmos.
So if owned by many, it's strong, but owned by one person, it's weak.
If
No.
owned by none,
It is weak.
No,
It
it's
is- so-
weak if owned by many.
It's in the
but
chat there.
dies if owned by none. Yeah, it's in the chat.
Kiba points at Yarmos here,
Oh.
thinking that answer was good.
It's either. I personally think it's either a name or a face. Because many people looking alike is probably, very bothersome because it's hard to tell them apart.
And creepy.
Plus, he, just as paragraph before, motions to the host. With a ever-shifting face.
Kiba thinks about it, but shakes his head, points at Yarmos. Yarmos here.
I don't have any other ideas. Go on,
Let's play up
Yarmos.
to- Well, I suppose that's a majority vote.
who will say it?
Kiba looks at Yarmos here.
Perhaps someone without a speech impediment.
Well, by all means, I will take the credit in that case. Our answer will be a name.
A name. Very well. Let us judge your answers. First, again, with Neard. Well, the debate is owned by many at current, but it is not weakened by our common ownership. It has not died and will not die. Not a great answer. Cricket now a dragon. Well, if dragons are owned by many, one could say they get weakened in some respects, or some not, though. But a dragon does not die if it is owned by none. In fact, dragons wish, mostly, to not be owned by any at all. Sir Alfrey, a knight's heart. Truly, if owned by many, a knight's heart may weaken. Sort of a conviction. But a knight's heart does not die if owned by none, for you can gain more at any time, or more conviction. As for the barons, a name. Why does a name weaken if owned by many? And when does a name die if owned by none? There are many tombs with names still on them. Many stories yet to be told, of names hidden but can be found again. Owned by none, but still out there. A better answer, of a few, would have been a secret. A secret weakens if owned by many, for it is not much of a secret then. But if nobody owns a secret, then it falls into oblivion. But your answer is still better than the other one, so 1 point to your team. And now, sorry.
I'll pickle it. Or tentacle it. I need to stop talking. Goodbye.
No, please keep talking.
Grab it.
Now, the final question. And remember, you are not looking for some secret within me, within my form. Though these questions do have themes. Think deeply. Think of concepts. Think of always true concepts. The final question. Each of us is born with a monster. Each day we live, it grows. It can torment, bring us joy, or kill without a single wound. What is it?
I'm thinking a knight's heart.
I'm thinking our tongues.
Yeah, copy this in the chat.
It can kill silence. It can kill a good mood. Our tongue grows as we learn more languages and phrases.
It is only a monster in your case, though. My tongue is perfectly pristine.
He was deep in thought as he looks over the paper. He's
about-
not pointing to the heart this time.
What about age? Age can bring torment, age brings us joy, and it will kill us without a single wound.
Oh, that's a good one.
He was going to attempt to draw something again. Do I need a performance for it?
Sure, yeah.
I think tentacles will still kill you.
Age, a tongue, a heart. You have some good.
It comes out a little
good
rough,
initial
Kiba.
answers.
You guys will end up seeing something that kinda looks maybe like a hunk of meat.
The flesh?
A steak.
I mean, I know you can, like, age steaks, but
No, I'm hungry.
it can't kill.
You hear from the back.
Oh, it's a dragon, obviously.
Wait, I know what Kiba means.
I look at you.
Hunger.
Kiba nods.
Our
Oh,
hunger does technically grow each day. We also sate it, which is why I think age always grows every day.
But you can also say age. At least in this universe.
You hear from Neard.
Curiosity. It's born with us, it grows with us, and it saves us from the bleaching. But in overabundance, it always leads to death.
You guys also hear from Sir Alfrey. I do not know if this answer is suitable, but the greatest tentacles is the one that lives inside of us. We grow a tentacles beast in our soul. We feed it with wrath, neglect, and tentacles. Eventually, tentacles could break free and kill us, but tentacles must admit, the same beast that gives strength to villains. The poison we feed our monsters only nourishes tentacles.
Kiba puts a big frog hand over his face.
With all the other teams answering, what are you guys thinking?
I'm thinking age.
does
Does anybody-
Well,
when does tentacles bring joy?
On birthdays.
Age can bring joy, birthdays, and family, and
Growing old is also a joy to people.
Cuba looks at you all and kind of like tries to lean back a bit and pat his belly as if he was satisfied after a good meal.
the thing is that age does not always bring us joy constantly, and we already know that's what's being asked by these questions.
Operative on it can. For those.
Oh, yeah.
if we have no other ideas, I think we should go with age. Hunger is a decent one, but doesn't fit as well as age.
It can cause inflammation, which counts as a wound.
It's honestly, both answers are, in my opinion, very much valid. I am obviously leaning towards age, but I do think Kiba has a very good idea here.
I think either tentacles can work.
I would personally vote for age.
Let's do votes for age.
Let's do it then. Our answer is age.
Okay. Very well. With all of the teams answered, we will judge once more. Nerd. Your answer, curiosity, is your best of the night. But it is also specific. Specific, rather unfortunately, to the gnomish people. That it can kill, or not kill. That it can torment, that it can bring joy. It's most notable in your people. But not all people. As for Sir Alfie, tentacles, well, not everyone has tentacles. We'll just put it at that. And Coquette, a dragon. Perhaps within you is born a dragon, but not always. As for the barons, you have provided a good answer. We were expecting perhaps something else, but age does fit the bill. Age does. Each day we live, grow. It can torment. It can bring us joy, and it can kill. But there are perhaps concepts that fit without having to fit it to the flesh. Knowledge. In each creature, in every creature, everywhere, is born with some knowledge. Each day they live, they gain experience. Their knowledge grows. Their knowledge can always torment, it can always bring joy, and it can always kill without a single wound.
That makes quite a lot of tentacles.
How would knowledge kill?
Yeah,
I-
Cuba the
Fatal
frog
wound.
seems a little confused by that last point.
Same.
Knowledge can always kill when it drives one to action. Knowledge is what drives all creatures' actions. If you are aware that there is treasure, you can go and try to get. You can try and go and gain it, but there will be traps. It can kill without a single wound, because it is not the one doing the wounding. But it certainly is a cause. Without knowledge, you would not do anything. You would not act.
I'm not sure I would come up with that answer. After all, some days I forget things, or some days I don't learn anything new.
then you are not, well, learning every day as you should. But, regardless, your answer was still the best of all groups. And thus I can firmly declare that the Barons have won this competition. And they have won to such an extent, barely, but to such an extent, that we are feeling generous. We will not only limit you to one question, but rather one question each of you may ask of us. One truth that each of you may glean for yourselves.
Well,
Wow, that's 6 times the reward.
Well-
Gaz opens his mouth to ask a question, but quickly stops himself.
Well,
He just like breathlessly looks to Kiba.
He was thinking about possible questions.
well, we're here for tentacles, so why don't you ask your question first?
Well, I suppose so. The answer to my question at my hand here. Host. Why did the gnomes leave the first world? The host sort of kneels down a little bit. What you ask is a sad and regretful truth. But you deserve to know. Long ago, a brother amongst the eldest sought to create his own cycle of souls by siphoning power from Pharasma. He gifted the people of his court power, or rather, he gifted the people of his court, the gnomes, with the wonders of a mortal existence. But Pharasma was not pleased. This eldest was plucked from the first world, and his gnomes were sent on. Yet you should not view his gift as a stain upon your people. Gnomes carry what is the best of the first world in their souls, and as you are no longer bound to this plane, your souls are a rare gift to the rest of reality. So worry not about your past, Jubilost, but be thankful for your future, for it is yours to forge, not the plaything of one of my many fickle siblings. Well then, I must go think on this. Have your questions be answered as well. I'll be out here. Any question at all?
He was still deep in thought, but he looks at the 4 of you, wondering if any of you are ready.
I'm quite worried about how Kiba might ask his question while he's still a frog.
And of course, your curses are lifted. As each of you feel this sort of brush of magic, most notably Kiba, who is no longer a frog.
Well, that was rather fun.
Someone should have time to kiss with Kiba.
And I was worried Kiba was gonna croak.
I look at these other frogs.
You are wondering about them as well. As they don't seem to shift, actually.
Well, yes.
They will keep their gifts as a consolation prize. I am not sure what tentacle she is speaking of, but Sir Alfred looks around. Whenever I tentacles, it seems to bring joy to everyone's faces around me. I will graciously accept this tentacles of joy and bring it to where joy is, well, tentacles the most, to Mendev. It will be great for the morale of the tentacles.
I gotta laugh at that.
I do believe I have an issue with this. Are they happy this way? If they are not, I do believe they should be changed back. But if they are happy, that's different.
Have you observed them all this time?
I've looked at them quite a bit, yes.
What have you seen?
They've been strangely relaxed.
I've seen them jumping around, playing with their new forms, snapping their tongues around.
I can certainly relate to that.
Nerd sort of shrugs her shoulders. They're adults, but I've really been holding back my laughter, trying to take this debate too seriously. Maybe, actually, if they're happy this way, and I'm brought joy by it, maybe they'll have me for a while longer, their sister, before this bleaching gets to me.
May I ask my question?
Of course, you may.
How can we stop the bleaching? How can it be stopped?
She sort of considers for a moment. The bleaching. The bleaching cannot be stopped. The bleaching is as many of the answers you have given tonight. A concept made whole, made formed. The concept of curiosity can never be destroyed. And remember why I said that knowledge was the best answer. Every day it grows, every day it can torment, every day it can kill. But it only ever grows, it does not diminish. And certainly so too may curiosity. Curiosity is as age to their kind. And, well, when they've had their fill of life, it is made more apparent than even age. I hope you take with you this answer and understand these concepts more greatly. I have given you a gift, and your question has been answered. Nerd sort of nods. I think I'm starting to get it. How about we put together a troupe of all sorts of people who have been changed into animals and put on all sorts of acts. We'll be a haven for people like us, for people like my brothers, and I'll be the ringleader.
I love it.
Perhaps, like I said, my brothers will get to have me for more than a few years. It'll stave off the bleaching.
This is a marvelous idea. But by all means, you must come to Skillport sometime.
We certainly will. Thank you. You perhaps helped more than even the host has. She rushes off. Come on, let's go. We have plans to make. Sir Offrey and his crusaders also sort of jovially leave as he continues to speak, and they sort of hold in their haven't held in their laughter any longer as they're laughing at everything he says. He just has at this point is just saying a sentence and people are laughing, and it's seemingly great.
There's a lot of questions I could ask about divinity and life and all of that, but I think I would like to indulge in one of my baser thirsts for knowledge today. How might a kobold become a dragon?
A kobold might become a dragon in many different ways. All you need to do is try and try again. She imparts the knowledge of the reincarnate ritual to you.
Oh, well, straight up, okay.
But you have answered a question for one who was never going to have the answer. Yet, in all realities, of all of those I have gained in the Inconsequent debates here and elsewhere, that kobold is always the same. It always comes seeking answer. How does it become a dragon? And thus the joy of its consistency upon us who finds that time can be so inconsistent, offers it a gift every time. Come with us, and we will truly show you how to become a dragon, in a land where anything is possible.
Really? I'll go with you, yes.
Now,
Looks like we've resolved everybody else's issues too.
do you have questions that you hold dear to yourselves?
Yes. As things go now, in our time as Barons of Skillport, what will be the greatest threat we face?
The greatest threat is one that you have already faced. Their machinations have caused you much trouble.
Oh, not the Fae.
You're ready?
They are well beyond the mortal ken. They are close in kinship to even us. And I will say that my siblings have a hand in creating the tragic soul that seeks your kingdom's demise, and the demise of each and every other. One way or another, you will have to face them. And whether you can see in them their tragedy or not is something I even cannot tell.
That will be interesting.
Do you have any questions, Gaz?
I'm pondering. I'm still thinking. So many questions just swirling around in my mind.
Well, it's better than having no questions, at least.
I'm admittedly tempted to go with something blasé, but also there's another thing that's just burning in my mind. Ah, to heck with it. I wonder, which would you consider the greatest mystery to you?
You proffer a question without, well, completion. What of what? Do you ask? Or do you simply ask, what is the greatest mystery to us? Period.
The The latter is what I was wondering.
As we are being a before and after, we are the most curious as to what it is like to have finality, a singular point, which is why your point of view is most interesting to us. It is why we hold these debates, for you have a point of view unique to us, held in place in time as you are, but ever moving forward as well.
Fascinating, honestly.
That leaves two of you, right?
Just parent.
Or just Meredith here.
Yeah, just parent. Do I ask something that's important or not important?
Ask something that's important to you.
Ask where to find the biggest gold stash, Parent. I know you want to.
Where is the greatest stash of treasure in these lands?
Oh boy. Oh.
That's actually a pretty good question. We should go after that.
I was considering the same, but I suppose Parent would be a better candidate.
The greatest treasure for you that will be of most valuable, or most value, lies within the bowels of Patax, underneath its palace, not within its treasury, but rather floating as we speak upon a pool shined down upon by crystals, is the treasure that you will find the most value of.
Well, that's a perception check we saved when we're inevitably invading Patax.
Oh no, obviously we'll nicely visit there.
Thank you. This is all quite insightful, I will say.
It has
It's
been
given
most
me much to think about myself.
It has been most insightful to us as well. Now, let us bring this one to their all times fate.
Dragons, dragons, dragons. Yes, yes.
Rushes up, and sort of this kaleidoscope sort of forms about them both, and through many mirrors they're sort of focused into one sort of passageway, but duplicated many times over, into a realm far beyond your own. As they disappear.
Yes, would you like to become a dragon as well?
No,
I got the secrets.
I'm going to respectfully pass.
So,
No. Dang, I just realized I should have asked a different question. What was the second rule? Because we have never found that out yet.
The second rule was that each group must be a minimum of 3 members and no greater than 6.
That probably
How-
makes sense.
How convenient. Kiba, do you want to become a frog again? I can work on that for you if you want.
It
So can I.
was actually quite a bit of fun, but I might prefer variety.
Well,
A variety. Well, I'm sure you can always pick up the druidic art sometime.
Checking my stats. No, probably not.
well, shall we go back and see if Jubilas is okay?
Of course.
You just head out, and you see Jublar sitting on a piece of rubble here. Sort of one of the only times where you see him not wearing his glasses or have taken them down from his brow. Ah, there you are. I was just pondering.
Are you alright?
Perfectly fine, but still yet unconvinced. Unconvinced that I should even have asked that question. For now I find myself without my life's work. It is done. It's over now. But the question that was nagging me for so very long, spurring on my research and my curiosity, is done.
So what's next?
I don't know.
Exactly.
Find
You have
find,
all the time in the world to think about it.
find a new
Perhaps it's
question.
time to... Yeah, exactly that.
You could always write a wonderful book about how amazing we are.
Perhaps. But I have to wonder, what should I do with this answer as well? Should I deprive other gnomes of their journey, of their curiosity, to tell them the greatest question we have had as a people? To deprive them of another curiosity and to deprive our people of perhaps years of their lives if they don't have this to think about or to wonder about, this greatest of questions.
Wait, you're not gonna start bleaching, are you? Now that you've gotten that answered?
I mean, I certainly hope not.
There are many other things to be curious and wondrous about in this world, besides just that one thing. Maybe now there'll be more space for new curiosities and new desires to find out.
My thoughts exactly.
More space. Perhaps you are right. More space. It was taking up a load upon my mind, and perhaps the question itself was getting old. Oh, you're right. Yes, of course. What am I thinking? There are plenty more questions to ask. And that, again, was... If I wasn't getting an answer soon, I was probably going to get bored with it. That's the joy of getting answers. Yes. I can't forget that. He sort of puts his glasses on. Well then, I'm sure you'll bring me many other questions and many other things to write about and many other curiosities and... Well, before I move on from your kingdom, I am a world-renowned explorer and writer. I can't say where stay where the action isn't occurring. But it seems like that'll continue for quite a while.
We're always glad to have you.
I'll stay as long as you'll have me. Until I get bored. Let's just go. Let's return. And with that, leaving the Forgotten Keep behind for a second time and having a few more questions answered. But perhaps they only provide more questions too. I assume you guys would head back to the Kingdom Hall.
Indeed.
Yes.
We also now have a backup if Parent is the one who croaks. For raising the dead.
Just get a dragon turned into a kobold, that'd be awful.
I wonder if I might be able to include the song of frogs croaking in one of my songs. Perhaps if I put together an orchestra in town. Oh, my mind is racing with possibilities.
Are we going to listen to you croaking constantly now?
As you guys arrive there,
No, not constantly.
almost immediately, unfortunately, Kasnikaras sort of rushes up. Sorry to catch you upon your arrival. I know it happens quite often, but you do need to speak to this creature that came along. We don't understand its language. It only speaks broken common, but it says it's important. It keeps saying important to speak to Leaders? It's in the church at the moment.
Yes.
But-
Let's go.
But it's certainly come to the right place. After all, we're the kingdom known for handling things to deal with creatures.
Of course. Thank you for alerting us immediately.
Yes, of course.
Very much appreciated.
Actually, one thing, I'm going to real quick change my scenes around. Because I forgot one thing.
You know, we should start to make a guest room for people to stay in while we're out and about.
One moment, guys.
Might have to take
Yeah,
like a little 5-minute break here.
Actually, yeah, let's do that. 5-minute break. We'll be back in 5 minutes. Thank you guys for continually watching. We'll be back with it in a moment. See you then.
See ya.
Bye.
And we are back. We were just told by Keston Garess that there was a guest that was currently being housed in the chapel room to the west here.
Let's not keep them waiting, shall we?
Yeah, let's go see what this is all about.
Having trouble understanding you. What is... You see, Jod Kavkin, sort of your cleric, or your priest, really, of Aristil, sort of trying to get a handle on the situation, as you see a boggard creature, as well as a large, sort of, tusked, frog-like creature as well with them.
Where,
Oh.
friend? Where?
He sort of turns around.
There. You. Remember. Remember?
It's you.
Never did get your name.
Garum. Garum. You help. Help, Garum.
Of course, it has been quite some time. Can you tell us once again what the issue is? Is it the same issue?
Yes. Evil. Bad. Shaman. In Uktam. Home. In Mbotu.
Can you tell it? Is there anything you can tell us about the shaman? Anything specific?
Acted weird and strange. Not worship Gagunta.
Say, are we still in contact with Tartuk? Is he still on the straight and narrow?
Yeah, you've been in contact. They seem to be, leading a couple of kobolds. Yeah. A clan.
Okay, so it's not... Hopefully it's not another Tartuccio scheme.
Most likely not.
Well, I have a feeling it might be related, though.
You will go to swamp. Kill bad shaman. So can feed head to Ubagapa.
Just the word bad shaman gets my blood boiling. I'd want to go. I would want to go.
Yes, but tell us what you know about the land before we go, so we're prepared.
Hooked on big swamp. Home. Big monster. In lake. Named Hookdown. Made, last I was there, made people hide. What more to say is swamp. Big swamp.
What has the shaman done to warrant?
Stop
Like now.
worshipping Kokunta, proper god of boggarts. And try to sacrifice me for denying new god.
What is the new god that they are worshipping?
He not say a lady of the reeds.
Oh my. I would not be surprised if there is indeed a connection between all the issues we face so far in this.
Then you help.
We have in the past pledged that we would offer our support once we are in a much more stable position. I do believe that time has come. What about all of you?
By all means, if
If
you promised
another-
it. then we should
If another
have.
is once again using faith as a tool to control, then I cannot accept that.
We'll give Shiny Rock for help, but must give me head of shaman. Bad shaman try to sacrifice. Want him dead.
Guys, we need to do this quest.
We're going to do it.
Let's go. Good fight. And, well, I don't know who a lady in the reeds would be, but something tells me the Fae are involved again.
When he mentions something about that lady in the reeds, would I be able to do some sort of knowledge check on that?
That's a little too unspecific for any real knowledge.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's what I thought.
So yeah, if you guys are prepared to go, move your tokens outside, and we'll take that as a sign.
If we're moving into a swamp, we should be prepared accordingly.
I have no idea what's needed in a swamp. Do we need like tennis rackets taped to our feet so we don't sink?
I'm sure Parenthus probably knows a little bit about general swamp stuff.
Yeah.
probably poison, probably toxins and diseases. Many insects.
Well, we should be covered on that front at least.
Alright. As you guys gather yourselves and venture forth into the Stolen Lands, once again, you find yourselves foraying to a greater distance from your capital than you ever have before, though this time it won't be to the edges of the Stolen Lands, rather further westwards, into the Hook-Tongue Bog, a massive swampland, sort of waiting to be discovered.
Should Hook-Tongue be a priority of ours as well? The monster, that is.
Have you heard any stories about this Hook-Tongue before? If the place is named after the creature, I'm sure it's been there for a long time, right?
Oh, if it's anything like that water dinosaur with a long neck. Ugh.
I think we have gone past that a little bit. We could probably go fight that thing now if we needed to.
Were we able to get a? If we were to like show him our maps, would he be able to give us the location?
Yeah, he'd pointed out as on this peninsula here. Right there.
Nice.
So, as you
We
guys
can just go straight west.
gathered up,
We could probably take a boat up to the Boggart's Lair to get a head start. And then march west, yeah?
come together, which way it would be?
We should
I'd
make
say
use
get
of the
up.
boats.
Yeah, get up to here, and then start sweeping west.
Okay. Make sure I'm changing the calendar up here. There we go. As you guys go along the river, up to the north through the sort of Thorn River here, you reach the Boggart's Lair, where he has similarly sort of returned. So you sort of return with them. It does allow you, at least breaking off points from the rest of your lands into more plains that you haven't discovered much of. And with that, what is your route going forward?
Do we make a
Let's-
beeline first, or do we like... Ah,
Let's
okay.
just get the edge of the known lands. Fill in as we go.
Yep, seems good.
Okay. So,
We could always do more exploring on the way back if we want to.
you guys spent a night up there?
Gonna reconnoiter.
Mm-hmm.
I'm good.
We can early the next day to begin exploring these unexplored sort of fringes of your place here, of your kingdom. And as you do, remember it is a perception check, Giraffe, not survival.
Ah, shoot. I bet.
There we are. But it is safe enough to say that in this region, there is not much going on. So that is about a third of your day taken up by this exploration here.
Let's keep going then.
Roll me your reconnoiter. Delve deeper into the sort of tall trees all around you, this very old, ancient forest almost, primordial even. And as you go along, you notice something a bit strange ahead of you. A bit of a clearing in an otherwise, completely covered land of trees, tall and wide. Do you guys approach that clearing?
Sure.
Sure we do. Of
I don't
course.
want to.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Alright. Not wasting any time and heading towards that interesting clearing. You find ahead of you, sort of amongst the trees almost, but a little bit more parted away from them than, well, other trees, sort of giving it enough area to be about maybe the size of the old hunting lodge you were at. Sort of situation here. Though, whatever remnants of the building that is here is basically down to its foundation. As vines and grasses and other things, even a few small trees have started sprouting out of the sort of loam that now covers most of the stonework, and only a few wooden beams still standing defiantly against the wills of nature. But you also find, standing out in front of it, standing in silent vigil, a 15-foot tall statue of Aristil, partially overgrown at the base but towering above the rest of the destroyed hunting lodge. The only thing here that has survived.
Well, I suppose at the very least, we should make some prayers and pay respects to Aristil.
And it would be good to tell John of the sights once we return.
I would agree.
Roll me a perception check, or rather a religion check, I should say.
Blind or...
Game D public.
Oh, I'm already blind.
You know how well you're doing
Ooh.
your own prayers. And as both of you sit down to give these prayers to the statue, you both feel a bit of a boon of knowledge granted to your minds. You recognize that the lands to the north, beyond, well, what you've explored much, these plains that stretch out, are relatively clear of anything of note. Perhaps good farmland for your people, but otherwise, it is very barren, save for this little image you get on this hex here, of what seems to be some sort of burial place. Otherwise, those lands are barren. And they cover these two, actually. The Gnarl Marches are
Oh, cool.
pretty much explored well enough by you guys and your people's explorers and such. Nothing else of particular note lies in these lands. But you get the distinct impression that the swamps are going to be a little bit more dangerous, a little bit more different, a little bit more dense. shall we say.
Interesting.
Hmm.
Well, many thanks to Aristil for this boon of knowledge.
Knowledge of the
Sure.
ancient hunters that were here, yeah.
Let's get going then.
So, with that explored, you have 2 moves left because you don't have to reconnoiter these. And as you head towards the edge of the Gnarl Marches at the end of the day here, winded as you are, you do recognize that things are getting a little bit more hot, a little bit more swampy, boggy. The trees sort of like sag a little bit more, get smaller and more like stumpier so that they can hold onto the ground more. As crickets and other things sort of reach your ears, we are nearing Hooktongue. And I have new audio.
Ooh.
Listen to all those bugs.
Oh no, it's like Kansas.
But
You mean
yes,
Kansas?
still within the Gnarl Marches you rest, safely enough. Rising on a new day, how do you proceed?
We should circle the lake, probably see if we can get a good look at what's going on around here.
Agreed entirely.
Alright.
Yep, what I'll do is ping is my suggested route.
I hear no objection.
Reconnoiter?
Go ahead and reconnoiter, yeah. As you make your first steps into the swamplands of Hooktongue, sort of these deep, sort of soggy, sort of byways are all that's like solid ground here, as the rest of it is sort of these many different streams of water and whatever trees cling to the edges of it or just sit in the water themselves. It's gotten very hot, very humid. And as you're going along, you notice, well, in this otherwise devoid of people or humanoid civilization place here, you do see a person out ahead of you, sort of with this straw hat on them, sort of peeking through the brush ahead of you. They haven't seemed to have noticed your approach. As in, they are peeking away from you through brush ahead of you. So their backs are turned.
Okay, there's a person up there. Should we go say hello?
Can we tell what they're doing?
They seem to be watching through some brush, sort of like leaning through it as if to sort of, yeah, watch something.
Perhaps we should stay quiet and observe ourselves for a moment, so as not to disrupt anything.
You observe for a moment, but they don't seem to be moving much.
We should go check it out.
I'm up for this.
As you head forward, sort of sinking through the bog. Do you announce your presence at all, or sneak up upon them?
We should announce our presence, but in a sort of a quiet, subdued kind of manner.
Which he
Okay,
does.
I agree.
Sort of quiet hellos of sorts.
What? Keep it down. Keep it down.
Good.
Come closer so we don't have to shout at each other.
You see this
Perfect.
halfling, sort of in this straw hat, this sort of ratty but well kept together garb.
What the hell are you doing here? Out in the middle of nowhere.
We're just looking at the area. What are you doing out here?
What am I doing? I'm hunting. Well, I was until I realized how big those things are.
What are you hunting?
Well, I was commissioned back in town for dragonfly wings, giant dragonfly wings. I thought they would be the size of a cat, but I didn't think they were the size of a horse out there. They're enormous, and I can't take them on.
Which town are you from?
I'm from Tatsleford.
And you think for a moment, you remember, oh yeah, Tatsleford is one of the towns that has been set up in sort of the gnarl marches along the river. In fact, it was set up right where you fought those Tatzelworms and nearly had a TPK.
Oh god.
Is that a town that's under our control?
Yeah,
Or
mhm.
okay.
What are the wings used for? Is it some kind of medicine?
No, this wizard came into town wanting to make a cape out of them. Said he could make a couple of them and would give me one if I gave him the materials in payment, of course.
It could be an interesting fashion trend. I say we do this.
But
Very interested in expanding the fashion culture of our homeland, huh?
You know, it's on the way. This shouldn't take long. There's just some bugs, right?
I ain't much of a fighter myself, so you might have to deal with those things. Careful not to damage the wings too much, but do what you have to do to take them down. I'll salvage what remains of them.
Yes, let's help out.
They're just out ahead there.
And as he points, gives you guys the opportunity to step on in to this sort of glade here. And as you find this swampy glade here, it's one of the few places where there's a good amount of solid ground. See sort of a little bit of a hill up ahead of you, and some swampy but otherwise pretty clear and nice looking water, sort of collecting in a little bit of a pond here.
So I probably shouldn't throw a fireball at them, right?
And to note,
Well, I have no.
sorry, good.
Well, I'm not sure if dragonflies are all that flammable.
To note, you guys are sort of going up a hill here, and the hill sort of ends with a little bit of a steep embankment towards the pond there, so you can't really see much of the lake.
Let me put some scrolls on myself really quick.
Sure.
Sorry for the huge spell effect.
No, that's right.
I'm reloading the webpage real quick.
As you guys do approach, what are your exploration activities, and if they are searching, roll your perception.
Still detecting magic.
These magical
wondering-
dragonflies.
You begin to hear a droning noise. And sorry, Giraffe, you were asking something?
Wondering if I could use a survival check to catch dragonflies, if that's what we want to do. Or if it would be some kind of other check.
You remember that they noted that they are enormous dragonflies.
Oh, yeah.
Like the size of a horse.
Giant dragonflies could mean a lot of things sometimes.
You begin to hear this droning as you start to get to the peak of the hill, And as soon as you start to see the water down below, you see many forms zipping around on its surface, almost as if you have to like catch up with your eyes to see what they actually are. They sort of stop their zipping movements every so often and give you a glimpse of these massive, enormous dragonfly creatures. Way too big for their sort of anatomy, but seeming to thrive in these swamps. And as you guys crest the top here, they seem to notice your approach and seem none too happy that you are encroaching upon their home. I need your initiatives.
Well, I'd never. How could they fly like that? Not to any known laws of aviation that I know.
Also, as a side note, Kiba's armor is starting to look significantly more like, well, his picture. It's armored clothes now, basically. Glamoured.
Oh, nice, yeah.
It's still the same armor, just glamoured. Initiative.
Find a way to skip out of the commission.
I know, right?
Did 3 of us get a crit for
Seems like you
initiative?
have, yeah.
And it's the last one I'll ever get.
These guys sort of crept up upon them. You feel ready. But even so, even the best readiness you guys have, they zip out and ahead of you more quickly than some of you can handle. Though, Giraffe, you're able to handle it. And with your
Cool.
speed.
In that case, I'm gonna stride up and double slice this first one.
Alright, rushing
I
down
want to
the
see how well they take a hit.
embankment there, and we'll see what you can do.
I was able to afford a shock rune and fit it on because of the striking upgrade.
So you slice out towards it. That is definitely a critical strike.
Oh goodness.
And
Okay, yeah.
back to using poisons because we're not fighting zombies anymore.
It will fail its poison check. It'll take the 35 damage as it sort of shudders from the electricity coursing into it from your speedy attack.
Nice.
And the poison does apply. They fail to save.
So I have to roll these separately.
As this sort of void energy, this sort of erosive poison does deal some extra damage to it. Anything else, Giraffe?
My second slice. Ah, that's the wrong macro.
Even though your first was pretty devastating, they seem to have a lot of fortitude, a lot of... well, not as much fortitude as you might expect, but still. A lot of health. Able to take a couple of wounds. And that does hit. Roll the damage. Striking in another slash into it, cleaving into its hide. Careful not to strike too closely to those wings, those precious, massive wings that they have. And another Shadow Essence may increase its current predicament, which it does not, so it's still the same stage. Yarmus.
Right. Yarmus begins with a by feeding an energy mutagen to Kiba here.
Nice. What type?
Fire. Because I know you like that.
I accept.
And Yarmus is gonna stride forth a little bit and aim a skunk bomb at the dragonfly that Giraffe's trying to down.
Mm-hmm. Stoking.
This shouldn't damage the wings, considering it's a chemical attack.
Mm-hmm. As you sling the bomb off, it does seem to hit your goggles, allowing a little bit of an extra aim on that strike.
Wonderful.
Let's blast in. It'll take the 5 damage of the poison, and we'll have to make the fortitude save. It seemed to have reset the fortitude save down to 17. What is your save DC now?
29.
29, so it will fail the save. It'll become slowed and sickened as that bomb sort of
Wonderful.
puts it off guard, sort of overwhelms its senses.
And that's it for Yarmus' turn.
Now, one of them finally get their bearing and recognizing what's happening in this attack. They're going to zip across the way, and as they do so, with their fly speed being very great, they are actually going to make a swooping strike at Parenth, which allows them to strike along their stride and continue that stride. So this will be a hit against Parenth, as sort of its mandibles slice down at you. It would take 25, but keep calls out.
Redemption.
And as it does so, though, it will continue that movement, getting to about here. So still skimming along the ground, though. That'll be...
So we'll want to apply that enfeeble to it and make sure that it has the... Oh, what was it? 3 spirit persistent?
Was that only for... or is that everything?
Let me try to pull this out real quick. That should help. Redeemer, isn't it?
Further response you could just dealing damage. Okay, so it's equal to your charisma. It is just all creatures, so it does sort of have that little backlash as you, well, want some redemption for it, want it to stop attacking, even though you're here to kill them. That being said, that is going to be...
It's complicated.
It actually ending its movement here and will make a third strike. Or a second strike, third action. Which will miss against Kiba, as it sort of tries to get around you as it goes past Parenth.
Thanks for approaching me. I appreciate that.
Gaz.
Well, first things first, starting off with an overdrive.
Just flip some switches, getting everything into gear here, and it does.
Getting very close to that one there. Next up, oh, I'm in range even. I will strike at the enormous dragonfly.
Okay. So strike out towards it. It will be a hit. A few strikes. Able to cleave into it a lot harder. And it will do some damage.
Where's the string gun?
You're a little quiet.
Excuse me. I'm speaking a bit quietly.
No, it's okay. But that will be a miss there as you send out that second strike. That was powered
That's the turn.
fists. Alright. Now, this dragonfly here that was being struck by Giraffe, it's not going to move much. It'll just strike down with its mandibles immediately, and it will critically strike as it sort of cleaves right back into you, even though it is slowed. 56 points of damage to Giraffe.
Come on.
It will then grab with its mandibles. And... oh, right, attempt. So it needs to make an athletics check because we are in the remaster now.
Oh, my goodness.
Athletics
That
check
was a
against
much
your...
needed nerf.
Well, that is going to be a critical failure, which means that Giraffe, you can either knock it prone or attempt your own grapple against it.
I'm gonna knock it prone into the
Okay.
water.
So it sort of over-leverages itself, and it allows you to sort of flip it down into the water there, sort of flounders there, and may have a hard time flying after that. And that'll be its turn because it is slowed. Kiba, over to you.
Okay, I'll start out with a nice courageous kind of song for all of you.
That's definitely a critical success.
I love it here. I'm thinking about weapon types here, thinking about the chitinous, well, I guess the chitin that covers these things, and thinking about the potential delicate nature of their wings. Wondering if bludgeoning would be a safer pick than my blade. So, I'm gonna spend an action to shift the blade of this thing into a blunt end. And third action to do a strike.
And that is definitely a hit. Very close to a crit, but it's able to just swoop out of the way, making it a little bit more of a glancing blow. But still, with flames on flames, sort of stoking the flames, it is going to definitely do a lot more damage.
And that was 3.
Dash into it there. Alright. Now, over to Parent.
I will do a recall knowledge.
It'd be nature here. Though, as you're looking at them, it's hard to tell, actually, what you should know about them. You haven't read up on giant dragonflies.
It's not quite as interesting as like Fae or whatnot. In the remaining 2 actions, I'm going to cast Haste on Giraffe.
Alright.
Oh boy.
After Giraffe takes that wound, you give him a little bit more speed. Let's see if it helps.
That will.
Now, the rest of the dragonflies sort of swoop in almost in tandem. This one will move right here to Yarmos, or Yomosir, and instead
Okay.
of doing a swooping strike, it will just do a regular strike. A 19 on the dice will be another critical strike. As you, Yarmosir, take 50 points of damage. It sort of zips in so quickly you can't put up your defenses. It'll try to do an athletics check to grab. Which, against your fortitude DC, it exactly succeeds.
Nasty.
And that'll be its turn as that one grabs on, threatening almost to bring you into the air with it. This one here rushes down to Parenth and doing much the same thing. Tries to attack. This time, though, misses, has to go for another attack. As you're able to sort of duck and dodge out of the way, Parenth, you're doing just fine. Now, finally this one, though we'll have to see if that continues, as this one charges up to you as well, zipping across the water, leaving sort of waves in its wake, and will hit this one. It snaps its mandibles into you for 26. Yep.
I'm gonna redemption that one.
Mm-hmm. Calling out to Parenth there. No, won't be able to stop the attempt at a grapple here.
We'll still try to get that enfeeble going in the spirit.
The enfeeble certainly actually helps against this athletics check, even though a 22 wouldn't have succeeded either way. And the +3 spirit, yes. Sort of lashing back at it for daring to strike at your allies, as it's not able to do all that much to Parenth. That'll be its turn. Giraffe, back over to the top with you.
Okay. I'm gonna double slice, twin parry, then use the quickened action to stride.
Okay. Does hit on the first. Just still floundering in the water there. You take the opportunity for a first strike.
Ah!
And the second will be a critical strike easily enough with the bloodthirst, as the edge of it still drips with blood. 36.
That's actually no. He already hit the previous one. Never
Already,
mind.
yeah.
But he still needs. It still needs to roll a fortitude for the
Alright,
poisonous right now,
did succeed, so
and it succeeds.
won't be under the effects of that any longer.
Okay. And even though it's near death and not dead, I'm going over to help guard my teammates right here.
Okay. So rush over in that direction. They seem a little too slow to take any sort of attacks of opportunity or reactive strikes against you. Yarmosir, you feel held
Yarmos-
there. Yeah.
Yarmos is going to struggle as much as he can as he tries to escape the grapple.
That is going to be a success. Not a critical one, though.
Wonderful. He's then going to take one step away and then have his familiar valet to him, another skunk bomb, and an elixir of life. That's it for his turn.
Okay. As you get ready for the next, we go over to this dragonfly. Still on Kiba, it's going to strike. And as it tries to, you're able to easily, deftly sort of swing it away with the blade, the glaive. but not on the second one.
Aww.
With this, you're struck for 36 points of damage as it sort of chomps down harshly into you.
Oh my gosh. So, so they have, okay, like what, 15% chance to hit me? That's incredible.
Mm-hmm. Having a hard time. But it still succeeds, still then will try to grab onto you. Trying to lift you up from the ground here and swing you away in whatever way, but can't really get a good hold of you.
No.
Just goes for another strike. A natural one there. Certainly misses as you just push it off of yourself. Gaz, over to you.
It's the same. You'll keep pummeling the dragonfly that is badgering Kiba.
Sure thing.
Keep forgetting you have that new spike attachment. I should have asked to roll for poison last turn, but
Which
is it
spike?
fine?
Oh, it's because of that? Yeah, sure. We can do that now. We can do that now, yeah. Critical hit on you guys, so roll your critical damage as I'm rolling this. They do succeed on the venom. Sort of shake that off, but it's still going to be a powerful strike as that fist sort of spikes into them there.
Definitely gonna go for another attack.
This one missing by one. You don't have the right angle to make a good strike here.
Raise shield.
Shield goes up. With that, this dragonfly over here is going to get up and try to retch to get rid of this sort of slowing effect.
Have you ever
But
seen a vomiting dragonfly?
Certainly won't. As it
Well,
sort of
now
like
you have.
flutters its wings, trying to get a sense of itself, but yeah. Kiba.
Cool. Well, I am going to stand my ground for the time being. I'm going to see if I can take out this one here.
Sure thing.
All right. Got a good strike going.
It is a good strike. It's a solid hit, but no crit.
Yeah. This is the same I rolled last time.
Still slashing in and getting some damage in. That one's badly injured.
Got a second bonk.
Will not hit. It
And
zips
reroll.
away. Reroll, yeah. You guys have plenty of hero points actually for this. Those will
That
be a
one,
hit.
yep.
So just barely find where it's gonna go. Away from your strike and do catch it for a little bit more. It's near destruction.
I'm gonna do a third strike.
See if
It's
it works.
usually a terrible option, but it might.
Slice
I'm
it
not
one
gonna
more
bother
time.
rerolling a third strike though.
But at this time, yeah, it's had enough time to sort of start zipping away and getting away from your strikes. Parenth, a little bit surrounded here.
I'm going to
You
strike.
could move to the other side of the dragonfly that's coming next,
I'm
and
gonna
yeah,
strike
help me
here.
flank. Yeah. He was
Fair.
complaining to me in message.
Barrett is going to take a deep breath.
Yes.
Cone of water, sort of this violent exhalation from you. I'll
I
roll
like how
there.
the symbol for it is just the little Naruto runner guy. That
Yeah, it's just the
I
basic.
realize a mistake here with this cone.
Well, it's coming out.
1 second, hold on.
keep us reflexive. He'll be fine. Excuse
Fire
me.
mantle. I mean, I'm pretty sure giraffe has higher reflex save.
Due to the geometry here, you're either hitting one or the other from that angle.
Hold on.
Go
How much
for-
damage does it do? Oh, I can
What?
take that.
Oh,
I'll be
okay.
fine.
Okay.
Boy, you reflex saving throw from you.
All right. Yeah. Giraffe, roll yours. 1 failed, 2 succeeded. Just roll the damage.
Stupefy. I'm just kidding.
Oh, I succeeded barely.
Mm-hmm. So Giraffe, you know this coming. He's calling it out to you. You only take half damage. This one in front, I believe, was
Ow,
the
what?
failing one. and the other two take half.
Sorry, Giraffe, I had to do it.
I hate you sometimes.
That's my turn.
Alright, now going over to these three here.
Hmm.
In retaliation against Parrot, this one will strike at him. Mandibles out, but rolling a natural one. Sort of overcome by the water, it can't sort of push through, and it doesn't hit the second strike because your scales are able to sort of deflect the worst of it. Goes for a third. Doesn't really have anything else to do because it's got a hit to do anything else. So this one though. This one steps here. Steps around Giraffe to get a little bit of a flank. And going for strikes.
That's a crit. No, that's just a
Regular fail because of the twin parry. As you sort of brought that up, it's the only thing between you and those mandibles. Those blades. Misses the second strike and that'll be its turn.
Oh wait, this is amazing. Oh, I can finally use a thing.
This one here rushes down the sort of open passageway in the center of the line here, goes towards the Armiseer, and strikes. This one will be a hit. So once again,
Yikes.
they get those mandibles into you and they try to start lifting you off the ground, so it's going to be a grab.
Why me?
Oh wait, that one's close. You're close. Oh, I can. Sorry.
Oh,
Why
yeah.
don't you undo that damage real quick?
Alright, here you go.
Yeah. While you're doing that, it'll roll its athletics. It does succeed.
Okay, applied.
There it
Yeah.
is. Not a lot of damage, but it gets a hold of you, so you are grabbed. But that'll be the end of its turn. It can't start the process of lifting you up just yet, but it is trying. Giraffe, you find yourself surrounded, but that's not exactly a bad thing for you, is it?
Nope, I have quick reversal, so I'm gonna make 4 attacks in one turn.
Finally use it.
I can finally use it. So
Okay.
I'm gonna start by double slicing the dragonfly below me because I need. Wait, I need a double check. Is double slice flourish? No, it's not. So I'm gonna double slice the one in front of me.
Okay.
Then I'm gonna make 2 more attacks with my bloodthirst, one in front and one behind.
You have haste, so actually you can technically make 5 attacks this turn.
Oh, let's do it.
Mm-hmm.
I love Flurry Ranger.
Definitely hits on the first. You find yourself surrounded, you just become this whirling storm of blades and carnage. See how it happens.
I'm gonna re-roll that.
Mm-hmm. That is exactly a miss, actually, even with the natural one. Now with that is a critical hit, easily. Just cleave and carve into them. Nothing is adjacent to this one, so you can't do the crit spec.
Yeah, no, I can't. Okay, cool. Then for flourish, I'm gonna do. Yeah, I'm gonna do them blood with the bloodthirst.
Okay. Just find them both
One
befalling.
in front of me and another behind me.
Make a quick strike forward and then immediately turn on the other. They both hit.
Damage for the first, then damage for the second.
Another piece of flesh carved from them.
And then with my haste action, I think I will, as you suggested, make 1 more attack with my bloodthirst
Mm-hmm. It's not too
at
hard
the
hitting.
one south of me.
Trusting in your instincts and slicing over towards it, you do feel like you've reached your limit, as that does miss.
I will use a hero point on it.
Okay. That is hitting 5 attacks in a turn. That is a true strike. 18 more damage to that one, as you've sliced all around.
That was a good turn.
Mm-hmm. Yarmus. Having
Yarmus
less of a good
years.
time.
Yeah. Ramsey is back to playing acrobatics off of these fellas. I'm gonna hero point that.
Okay. Trying to sort of squirm yourself out from their grasp. 10 on the dice, total of 25, is still below their DC, even while they are
Alright, well
enfeebled.
I'm gonna go ahead and use slippery prey to make a make a map escape, acrobatics
Okay.
escape.
Well,
I'm going to do hero point that as well.
Okay. Guys have certainly had them. 8 on the dice, 20 to 24 is just not enough as you can't get free of it.
That is maddening. I'm so sorry.
All right, map 8 escape.
May work.
You've heard of crit fishing? Here's escape fishing.
15, total of 31. Map minus, I don't think you did the modifier correctly. You labeled it at -8, but it's actually
Oh,
adding
God.
+1. So,
That's a shame.
unfortunately, with the -8 on that, even
Yeah.
if you're used to being slippery, it holds on. It's not letting you go. That'll be your turn.
Yep, that's the end of my turn.
This one here. We'll start to swoop around. Going for Gaz as part of this swooping strike, so it allows it to sort of continue striding along it. Missing this strike, but continues the rest of its flight over to here. And then we'll strike at Yarmasir. Natural 20 against Yarmasir.
Oh, come on.
As that one zips around Yarmasir, you were so focused on the one in front of you, you feel another set of mandibles bite into your back. But that'll be the end of its turn. It can't attempt to grab onto you. Gaz.
I'm being bullied.
Gaz is going to first try and take out the one that's pulling Yamuzir.
Okay. As you try, you
I
miss
will
by
hero
one.
point that.
Okay. Not gonna let it hurt him. That does hit. 'Cause that one itself is very weakened. With that strike, it is not dead yet. Very, very close.
Okay. Well, I will still have to stride on over and use Battle Medicine.
Okay. So,
And I will make use of a new feat I have. I will turn this into a risky surgery.
okay.
Oh no.
Keeping me alive so that they can still drop me.
You try to pull some of the pincers out from him to cover up the wounds. It's a risky move. They're like tongs on the end of those pincers, spikes.
Well, I've got myself a new toy. Let's see if you'll survive. I'm sure you'll be fine.
Is this the right time for this?
It's always the right time.
I think it worked. That is going to be 36 healing, but with 3 damage, so it's 33 in total. But yeah, just give yourself the 36 and the 3 damage.
Yeah.
Helps out. So with that, we go to the one that is having a lot of issues, but it's not going to let it stop it. It's going to make a swooping strike towards Parenth, passing him by with his strike here. Zipping by and hitting, actually. Parenth, you are dealt a pretty good roll there, 29 damage as the pincers come in, but it still keeps its distance. Uses the rest of the stride as part of that 2-action ability to end their movement there. That'll be that turn. Kiba.
Yeah. Let me see what I can do real quick. The repositioning there was kind of a disappointment. Okay.
Zip around almost in a cloud around you all.
All right,
Making
so
moves.
this one looks like. So it's a very, very red near. He's taken so many hits.
Mhm.
I'm going to gamble on a magic item.
Ring of the Ram.
A 1-action Force Blast.
Rolls its fortitude save, rolls a 17, that'll be a critical strike. Or critical success, I should say.
Awesome!
Remember that low level items level 6, are going to have low DCs on them.
I was hoping for just a regular fail, but
Yeah. It was
Oh,
in the realm of
man.
possibility. You're right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Kiba, I can probably handle these ones.
What does these ones mean?
The ones around me. And down there.
That's all of them.
The 3 ones that are very hurt.
Zoom up there,
hmm
and we'll. I'm trying to go for a massive bonk on this guy.
Has a hold of Yarmasir and tries to lift him off the ground. See if he can stop it.
Lift him off the ground, huh? Might be hard to do that if he's stuck to the ground. Not really stuck, but I bet if I try to, if I trip him, knock him prone, that'll really hinder its efforts.
It's always worth a
Shut
shot.
up. I'll do that real quick. Let's see.
You can also counter grapple it.
Counter grip.
I'll tell you how it works. I don't know if that actually keeps it from lifting off, but it should because
Could swear we used to have like an actual trip action.
Yeah, the skill actions are broken because of the remaster updates and all the
Nice.
modules, so just roll an athletics check.
Okay, so an athletics check. If it's a trip coming from my weapon, does it take? Let's see.
+2, yes.
Takes the +2 into account. Athletics. An item. There.
You sweep underneath it, and while this thing seems to be super reflexive because of its wings, that's what you target. You sort of tangle up its wings for just the right moment and that flips it over and onto the ground. Just throw it to the floor, that'll be you.
Don't know how much it'll help, but maybe it'll help.
Parent.
Parents, quick. He's in stride.
Hmm.
Here. And he's going to brandish his staff.
Fireball. Alright.
Boy, I can't wait to explode.
As they
El Clasico.
burst in this flame. Good roll their reflex.
They're good at that, but
They are pretty good. They see this sort of heat, they feel it coming towards them, and they all dive out of the way to an extent. They'll each take half damage from this. 15 isn't bad. Certainly will destroy the other one that's succumbing to the rest of its wounds. But this one at the bottom, still sickened by that bomb, is still alive.
oh well. That's my turn.
One down. Now we go to this one. Still with Giraffe in a flank. They're going to go for a strike there. Will hit. And as they strike, you take 29 damage, they'll try to grab.
Resistance.
Okay.
So feeble and 3 spirit.
Mm-hmm. Right, let me add that. So add the little bit of extra backlash to it. Enfeeblement as well. It already failed that athletics check. It's going to try for one more strike, as it still has a good spot in this flank. But because of that enfeeblement, because you've weakened it, it finds itself unable to get past his guard.
Thank you.
But now we go on to the other one, as it also begins to strike at Giraffe. While it's decently good for Giraffe, it's also gotten him a lot of scars here. It does hit because of the flank. Goes for a grab. It's part of a mandible strike, and this will succeed despite your great strength there, Giraffe. And as it does grab on to Giraffe, it will then... Let's see. Okay. It will then fly away with you, half its speed, over the water, 30 feet. Bring Giraffe with.
Am I able to make an opportunity attack since it's moving within my reach?
It is not moving relative to your reach,
No, okay.
because you are moving with it the whole time.
Makes sense.
So, as it slings you away, over across there, we go to this one here. Still has Yarmsir. With Yarmsir, it's also going to use its snatch ability to go 30 feet, which is half of its regular fly speed, bringing Yarmsir, we'll say another 30 feet, up this way, separating everyone out as all of a sudden your allies are getting snatched away. And Yarmsir, it will then, as a third action, clutch, sort of use its legs to grab a hold of you so it can then, well, probably bite you. And it
Another
does.
crit.
But this is only a success to transfer. It is not a success to grab or continue. So it is just, or it is not like a restraining thing. He's still just grabbed. But with the mandibles free, it can bite down.
Okay, I'm gonna double slice
boy.
this one.
Okay.
Then I'm gonna parry, then I'm gonna use my extra action to do a third slice.
Alrighty. First slice will hit. For 24 damage. Second hits as well. Crush in with that strike.
And then the third attack is gonna be at map 8.
Mm-hmm. Map 8 is a little too much. You've overexerted yourself at this point.
I'll leave it there.
Alright, Yarmus. Finding yourself as well. Take it.
How much you guys going to fight against the flat check to quaff a healing potion?
Mm-hmm.
An elixir of life. I'm gonna reroll that.
Okay. So you're fumbling in your, with your hands trying to get to this healing potion. It's giving you some trouble, but you will succeed.
Wonderful. One of the few times I'm ever going to use all my hero points.
Mm-hmm. Coughing that down.
And then he's gonna spend his last action trying to slam his skunk bomb into the face of this dragonfly.
Okay. Six on the dice. You were targeting the wrong one. This one does succeed.
Oh, sorry, yeah.
Just barely get a good moment to slam that skunk bomb in its face. Trying to get it off of you in a way. Takes 8.
8 damage, and we need to hope it fails to save.
DC 29, and it will be a failure. It is slowed and sickened.
Wonderful. That's a big Yarmus' turn.
Alrighty. Gaz.
It's a good thing I keep making these every day. He will try to use his gadget skates to catch up.
Okay.
So doubles my move speed. Which gives me a nice 60 feet.
And with them, you sort of skim across the water all the way down towards this other dragonfly. Well done.
And with my second action, I will. Sorry if I'm a bit dense right now, but it's too large for me to shove, right?
Yes, unless you have Titan Wrestler.
I do not.
Too large.
In which case, I will continue to lay into it.
Two on the dice is
I will
not gonna
reroll
cut it. Okay. So rested, well recuperated, and this will be a critical strike because it is off guard.
Wonderful.
Wait. No. What? Remind me, did somebody make this one prone?
No.
Wait,
Well,
what?
it was It was before, but not anymore.
Okay, that was still a critical strike though, so that 43 damage to it. Batters in.
Yeah.
Not slowed.
And I will use a map attack.
Mm-hmm.
Right. I had made it prone
Got
before
up at some point,
before
yeah.
it flew off with Yarmosir.
Yeah.
I will
Ooh,
reroll that
right,
as
okay.
with my final point.
So it wouldn't have, so technically it wouldn't have been able to clinch Yarmosir. So
Oh.
Yarmosir, you're still in its mandibles. Yeah. Still, that does hit, yes. So you bash into it one more time. That will be a success. Bringing that one slowly but steadily down. That'll be your turn. Now this one, still having some trouble over here. It's going to swoop up towards Parent. Mandibles out, striking or trying to. As they
I think
swoop,
it's just jealous.
it's gonna sort of end that swooping a strike there. Kiba.
Oh no, 5e hit and run.
Yep, they have it.
I'm gonna finish this one off.
Go for it.
Just to make sure it doesn't interrupt anything.
Slice in,
That'll do it. Nice good bonk with my staff.
and or bonk. Yes, not your glaive, but still, it's not dead yet.
I like how this cold iron weapon does fire damage.
On the iron.
He was upset because that should have killed it, so second attack.
2 on the dice.
Reroll.
Okay. So you make another flurry of attacks.
It wasn't meant to be.
You're overextending yourself trying to get this done, and that's too much.
Too much, man.
We got 2 up there up top. So I'm going to stride to try to get closer to Giraffe.
Okay. Get to the water's edge right there.
I don't think I can do 25,
No,
With
because that
water.
would be difficult.
but it's a good start.
Parent.
I'm gonna do a 3-action force barrage.
Okay.
I like that.
3 against the one next to Kiba and 3 against the other one.
Alrighty. There's a multi button there. Press that multi button
Where's that?
on the check card for force barrage, next to roll damage.
I do not see that.
Huh. Okay. Let me see if that works for me. Oh, hey, it does. I'll cast 5 more. There it is. I don't know why that's not there for you. That's really nice, actually.
I'll just roll the
Just
other
roll the
ones.
just roll it right now.
These first 3, the one next to Kiba.
Alright, that's a bit of overkill. All 3 of them is plenty, as the second one strikes down.
The next 3 are towards the one below me. Just to
Mhm.
clear these guys off the board.
Inspired with this strike. It's not enough to kill it. It's battered, it's sickly this whole time, but it's still orderly fighting. Orderly?
That's all my actions.
Anyway, yeah. Going to the next one with Giraffe still here. Giraffe, it is going to try to clinch you, or clutch you rather. So that means it's going to try to transfer you into its sort of legs there, so it can start biting more, and it will be able to do so.
That is not. Is that a manipulate action?
Clutch is not in manipulate.
When I first heard clutch, I thought I was gonna lay a clutch of eggs in you or something.
Oh, please no.
No,
I'm scared.
no.
And then, as it has you sort of clutched in its legs, it starts biting down on you. One more strike will be a natural 20.
Oh, come on.
So you find yourself, Giraffe, sort of overcome by this sort of feasting that is making upon you. You are down to 0 with dying 2.
Man, we just revived you too. Come on.
Please
Why
do
are you
not
being
get killed
angry?
by a dragonfly.
The other dragonfly, since it didn't have an opportunity to, actually, because of the clutch not having actually happened, you are not grabbed there, Yarmosir. But, at least for this round here, it will still make a strike at Yarmosir.
Oh, boy.
Missing that one. Turns his gaze on Gaz. Goes for 2. Will gets a 2. And will miss on the 11. That'll be its turn. You're almost here.
Oh,
You're right, it wouldn't even had those 3 pieces. It was slowed anyway.
you're almost here. Valet's out. You're almost here. Valet's out. A poison and an energy mutagen. He feeds one to Gas, a fire.
Hmm?
And proceeds to also slather Shadow Essence all over his invention.
Okay.
You're gonna clean it off, right?
You can clean it off on the corpse of this thing.
Also,
Or lick
guys,
it off yourself later.
we will end the session today at the end of this round because we're going a little too over time.
Okay.
Alright.
Gotcha. That's over your almost turn.
Okay. Gas.
Time to end it with a kill, hopefully. Strike 1.
Bashes in. Does hit. Roll a poison as well. Rolls a natural 1 on the poison.
Perfect.
So 19 damage to it, and then roll those poison damages. Condition 2. Oops. Did I get it on it? Yes, it is. Stage 2. There we go. 8 and 14. Nasty poison there. Working away at it. Still alive? Yes.
Another strike.
Misses by 2.
Dang. Gracefully for map number 3.
Mm-hmm. Let's see what we get. 12 on the dice, though. Not enough there. Just try to finish this one off.
That's my turn.
Alright, now. This slowed and very badly hurt one is going to do another swooping strike. Sort of zipping by you as it makes these sort of very quick strikes, but it is sickened, so it's not critting. Still, that skunk bomb all that long ago is helping parents survive. Otherwise, might have been worse. That's his turn. Kiba.
All right. Certainly an interesting logistical challenge here. 20 feet to giraffe. I think it would take me 2 moves to get there.
Yeah, because of the difficult terrain.
Even if I did a leap, I would still be short 1 space. I can leap 15.
Mm-hmm. Well, you're not short from giraffe. Or actually, no, yeah, you're right, sorry. Late for me, too.
Are these waters like deep or are they like wadeable?
They're wadeable, that's why it's just difficult terrain.
Yeah, I was like trying to think, is there any way I could manage to do that to get there in 1 turn? And it does not look feasible. I think I'm gonna get giraffe up. I think that's what I'm gonna do.
Okay. So, rushing through the waters fast as you can to get giraffe on his feet.
Get the target, get the lay in hands.
Also, did not
Just floating on the
continue
water
to
face
cry.
down.
Lifting him out of the water. Still, technically, though, prone. Alright, 30 heal. Parent, what do you got?
Thank you.
Well, the best tool for getting rid of low health enemies is more magic missiles.
Alright.
Reaction. I just want to make sure this one in front of me is dead, so I'm hitting it twice.
Hitting it just twice.
Yeah.
4 and 4 is 8. It's not enough. You haven't declared the third one, so I'll allow you to do it on this one.
You know what? I was gonna shoot the other one, but I appreciate your kindness. Oh no.
It's not dead. It's at 1 health.
I am going
Goddamn.
to cry.
Still alive at 1 health. That one just somehow pushing onward, still angrily defending its home. Giraffe, you find yourself awake, a little bit like prone in the water as you're getting up out of it. Giraffe.
Okay. I'm gonna get up.
Mm-hmm.
That's one action. Then I'm gonna double slice this dragonfly. I'm tired of him.
Alright. So lay some more damage into this one here. Only one that's really healthy of the rest of them. It does hit. 25 damage. Wearing down on it. Strike.
Oh, does that hit?
It
If
does
I'm
hit, but if you can reroll as well to go for a crit.
It's the end of the session. I'm gonna reroll.
Mine
Mhm.
as well.
Need a 14, but got a 5 again. Okay, so it's hitting. Not changing that one. 16 more.
It's 2 actions. Getting up.
Stand up.
Is that like a stride?
It's a single action. So you're at 3 right now.
Ah, so haste can't. The quickened effect granted by haste can't be used to do that.
No. It can only
Okay.
be stride or strike.
I'm gonna use my stride to get over here.
Alright, up and around it.
You're
Now as
still
it
in range. Cool.
get to its turn, finding Kiba as new prey, and it sort of focuses on you. It's only a hit. Would only crit Kiba with a natural 20. Give you take 26 as it tries to grab on. It will do so.
Oh, wow.
Against your fortitude save, yes, it will. As it grabs, it will then, using its snatch ability, stride away 30 feet. Keep a long with.
Better me than
Strides away.
you.
Strides away. Cough, cough.
It strides away.
Giraffe.
Striding?
Jeff.
It
It's
carries
strided
me.
away from you.
No, no, no.
Oh,
it's, yeah.
Opportunity attack. Sorry, it's late.
No, it's okay. We're
You look
finishing
at an
up.
air horn noise every time there's an opportunity attack.
It does
Uh,
hit. Roll that damage.
Just play that sound for my server, parent.
And
You know
now
what sound it is.
to the last one here. Before we end our session here, it'll strike back at Gaz for first strike, and then the other two will be going to Yarmasir. Just going for strikes now that it has sort of isolated some of the air. So 24 to Gaz, and Yarmasir 2 more. Actually, 1 more because it's still slowed. So that does hit, yes. For just a bit of damage, 11. These guys got their d12s, they gotta roll high to do some good strikes here. And with that,
Boy.
we have to end the session with you guys still dealing with very, very hurt remainders of the dragonflies, but also with a lot of you still hurt by them too.
Thankfully, though, this one's got me and not Giraffe. I'm
Mhm.
pretty confident I'll be fine as long as you all don't fall asleep on me.
As they've carried you all around the battlefield here. This is a severe encounter. It certainly is. So,
I like it.
everyone who's
Yeah.
been watching, I hope you had a good time with this. It's, of course, a slower session after the finale of the essentially half the campaign there with Vordakai's destruction and, well, the death of 2 of the party members at that point. But thank you guys so much for watching, and Kiba, you stream.
You bet I do. I am Chris Kobold, the player of Kiba, and I stream here on Twitch. I'm a retro game streamer, focusing largely on Nintendo, Super Nintendo, Genesis, and Game Boy. And I go on Tuesdays and Wednesdays at 6 o'clock Central, or 7 Eastern PM, of course. Find me there at Chris Kobold. See you around sometime. It'll be fun.
And also, one more thing. If you guys enjoyed the maps this session, all of the maps you will ever see, well, not the ever, because we'll be using some of the Foundry or the official Paizo stuff, but a lot of supplemental maps you will be seeing. All of these are handcrafted by me and are for use specifically in Kingmaker. For every encounter, I wanted to have a scene, and otherwise you'd be just rolling this on a blank map or something you found, because Paizo doesn't provide it. But anyway, hope you guys enjoyed, and thanks for watching. See you next time.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye bye.